Hello, I'm Saukki, and now I'm cycling to meet Alve Henricson. He's the guy who went to the Nordkapp and back again with the Quattrovelo Velomobile during winter. So I'm going to meet him today. He's actually now coming back from the Nordkapp, and his route is going near my home, so of course I have to meet him. By the way, it's the most boring day of the year and soon it's going to be dark, so so when I'm going to meet him it's probably going to be already dark. But let's see. We had some snow before, but now it's gone again. So the winter didn't come after all. So my plan is to go and meet him somewhere in the middle of the road and then ride with him back to Kokkola where he's going to stay the night. But okay, let's go. Decided to stop here to wait Alve. He should be here any minute now, so let's see. He should be coming over there, so soon he will be here.
Oh, if I was keeping that speed, I would die halfway.
Yeah, probably. What are these extra lights here?
Yeah, they're the same lights as I have in the back.
Okay.
But the problem with this one is that they are leaning too much. So I will rebuild it and put them so that they're straight forward. Because I want to have good lighting in daytime.
Yeah.
But these are good enough in daytime. I realize now. I just put this because I wanted to have stronger one. But you see, they are in the wrong angle.
Yeah.
But this one here in the back, I just made an extra cable, and that's the switch there. So this is more or less original. This one is a little bit brighter, but
yeah.
I started with this one. I should have left the original one here and just put that one. And that one is has an extra switch.
Yeah.
And then I can change. I can have it fixed for 16 different flashes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. I always drive on this kind of roads.
Yeah.
So without that strong light, I will not dare to.
Yeah.
I need to have something very strong.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I got rid of 15 kilo of equipment.
Yeah.
Because
almost necessary left. Yeah.
Yes, I probably have a little bit too much too. But I would not have done this trip if I didn't have backup in form of being possible to camp when it was minus 30 degrees.
Yeah, of course.
Because in the north they would close the doors, they would close the roads, and you would have to stay there until they open the roads. And you know, being wet, sweaty here, and cold feet and waiting in 3 days out in the snow, it's no good without camping equipment. So I did send that home now yesterday. Otherwise, I would not have been able to follow you today with that speed. And then I had to get this one for the north. I would not have been able to go in the cold without this one.
Yeah, easier to breathe.
For breathing, it gives me. It's even good now when it's 0 degrees. Because the lungs don't get so cold. But up in the north, I would not have been possible. I could have been driving or riding at 5 kilometers per hour without getting sweat and without having problem with the lung. But then I will still be up there, you know.
Yeah.
So this was a must for me, at least.
Yeah.
With that one, I always had I'm guessing 15 degrees in the mouth.
Yeah.
So, and this, we have to go through it. I show you the secrets of surviving.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because it's always the biggest problem in the winter.
Yeah.
What kind of shoes to use? Okay, so you were in the Nordkapp. How was it up there?
It was cold.
Cold.
Yeah, you know, I didn't. My purpose was not to go there this time of the year from the beginning.
Yeah.
I planned to be there 2 months earlier.
Yeah.
But then I had a njursten, a kidney stone. Do you say so?
Yeah.
In Finnish?
Probably.
Well, anyway, so I was delayed 2 months.
Okay.
But you know, I just had to do it. Anyway, so I don't know if you remember, I asked you, when are the mosquitoes disappearing from the north?
Yeah, I remember.
You said September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my plan.
Yeah.
To go up in September when there were no mosquitoes. But anyway, I realized that I had to be prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for that. Because it happens that when I came to the coldest area, it was the coldest autumn in 50 years.
Yeah.
So suddenly I had minus 26 degrees Celsius. And then I was glad that I had my equipment with me.
So it was also a little bit of bad luck.
Yes, it was a little bit of bad luck, but at the same time, I gave up 5 times. And I was turning back 5 times, and just before turning back, one time I had a downhill, and then I wanted to test the downhill. And then another time, suddenly I came to the border, exactly in the place where I was going to turn back, because it was minus 26 degrees, and I just felt, you know, this is too much. But then I realized I was in the border, so I just kept on going, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it was, when you know you get to the limit, and then you manage, and you keep on going, and you make it, it feels good.
Yeah, it must be, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the total distance?
Oh, I haven't been calculating that yet. You have to read my blog for that. From home up, the only thing I remember is that the climb from home to Nordkapp in meters, if you add the uphills, there will be over 16,000 meters, which is to Mount Everest, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
The amount of kilometers I don't know now. I'm very bad at numbers. And the speed record was following you here.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was in the tunnel. The tunnel underneath there is a passage in between mainland and the island where you have Nordkapp.
Yeah.
That tunnel goes, I think it's about 220 meters below the water. So it's like a V. You go full speed down, 3 kilometers, 1.5 kilometers, and then you go in the lowest gear for 3.5 kilometers up again. Yeah. And I think going down there, that was the fastest.
Yeah.
And then going up, that was the slowest in the whole trip.
Yeah. What kind of average speed did you have when riding in the north, in the snow?
It did vary very much. I could have a look in my telephone, but when I was in Nordkapp,
15.2 kilometers per
yes.
hour.
But then I had left half of the equipment at the hostel.
Okay.
Because it was very hilly there. You see.
Yeah.
You see how hilly it is. You see, it's from 0 to 340 meters or something like that. Up and down, up and down, up and down. We'll take another day here. This is a horrible ride. Duration 13 hours. Distance 164 kilometers. Elevation 1500. Average speed 17.
Yeah.
It was like 5 centimeters snow.
Yeah.
To drive in, and a lot of uphill. I have one very short day here, which was, I think, one of the worst days. This one here, only 72 kilometers. It was 7 hours, but max speed 48 kilometers per hour. I did get stuck all the time in the snow. It was a Saturday, and it seems as if they don't clean the roads on Saturdays because everyone is sleeping at 4 in the morning, you know. And I could only be driving or riding where trucks had been going, but the trucks, they had been going with chains. So underneath this layer of 5-6 centimeters of new snow that had been snowing during the night, there were these cuts in the hard snow, with chains from the truck. So it was like driving on a washboard, you know, on a huge the whole day. And as soon as I came a little bit out of the truck of the one truck that had been driving during the day, I got stuck. So max speed 48, duration 7, but still it's quite good.
15.6 average.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not bad.
But that was one of the worst days regarding snow and so forth.
Yeah.
But then remember that I have had a lot of equipment.
Yeah, of course.
And I would not have been able myself to make this trip if I didn't have assist in the worst uphills.
Yeah.
The battery is only giving about 25% of its capacity when it is this cold.
Yeah.
So I could not use the battery very much, but in the worst places I had to use it. Otherwise, I would have had to go pushing the Velomobile, you know, through the snow and so forth. So I started the trip with my other Velomobile without any e-assist. After 2 days, I realized that it was too much, too hard.
Yeah.
I would have been halfway to the north still.
Yeah.
So I over the night I rented a truck and changed the Velomobile to the one with e-assist. Otherwise, I would not have made it. And I can say anyone can make this trip in the conditions that I have made without e-assist, as long as you don't have the equipment that I had with me. But then you have the risk of being standing by the side of the road because the road is closed for 3 days, and the only thing that you have for heating you is the credit card in your pocket. And after you have fire on that one, and you have nothing else to heat yourself with, you know. So it's up to you if you want to do it or not.
So how is the Quattrovelo working in snow and winter conditions?
I'm very surprised how well it is I didn't expect it was going to be that good.
Okay.
So I'm surprised. And I could have made a trip 95 or 96% more or less of the trip with ordinary tires.
Okay.
Even with old Durano or old, slick tires. But then the last 4% of the trip, I needed to have the studs in the winter tires in the back. Yeah. Otherwise, I would not have been able to move forward. And there were some occasions when the back, when you go on the rumble strips. Yeah. If you have only 3 wheels, then it's very sensitive. Yeah. It's not so sensitive with the Quattrovelo, but still. So if I didn't have the winter tires in the back, I would have gone 90 degrees, in the downhills. Yeah. So I needed to have the winter tires in some occasions. Otherwise, I could have done almost the whole trip with summer tires.
Okay, that's actually surprising.
Yes, if I was commuting around towns like here where you live, or if you were not in the worst scenarios up in the north, where you have hills which are 24 degrees, that I wouldn't put any winter tires on the Quattrovelo. Okay. You don't need them. You just have to take care and not go down in 100 kilometers per hour when you're going down here. Just go down in 40 kilometers per hour, Yeah. So instead of braking in 5 meters, you will be braking in 20 meters. And as long as you know that, there is no problem. And if you're meeting a truck, well, slow down and just go 5 kilometers per hour while you meet the truck, and then you keep on going. So, yeah. Okay.
Nice to hear. So what tires do you have on now? You don't have the winter tires anymore?
No. Well, I'm not a tire expert. And there are so many people knowing what tires to use. I'm not that person, but I have a preference. It's not having a puncture. Yeah. And I haven't had one puncture in the whole trip.
Not at all, okay.
Yes. So I am old-fashioned. I just use in the back. I have Marathon Plus, the narrow one. Yeah. I have been testing the wider ones, but they are too heavy and they take too much of the. They decide more than what I decide about where to go with the big tires. With the small tires, they are lighter, and I can decide where to go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you understand what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. And in the front, I bought the last box they had in the store of Durano Plus.
Okay.
Because you can fold them. And normally I always have 4 Durano Plus in the front of the Quattrovelo. Now I did get sent the winter to the north to our friend Urpo. Yeah. So I could change and put the winter tires in the back. Then I put the Marathon Plus in the front. Yeah. So when I was in Nordkapp and all that area, Marathon Plus in the front, Marathon Winter in the back. Now yesterday I changed it, so I left my winter with our friend Mika. Yeah. He has a Quest, and I did take the Marathon Plus from the front, put them back, and I took new Durano Plus and put in the front. So now I only have 2 Durano Plus in the front as spare.
Yeah. Did you have any mechanical issues with the Quattrovelo?
Yeah, well, the Quattrovelo has 2 small bellows as a spring system in the back, suspension.
Suspension. Yeah.
And I thought one had a puncture because it was losing air. But then, so I had to pump now and then to get air in it. But then when I came to here for 2 days ago, when the temperature
when it got hot, -3 degrees. Well, that's hot to me. You know? -3, -6 degrees. That's warm. Then it suddenly stopped leaking. So I think there was some tiny, small condensations in the valve that had been frozen, and that's why it had been leaking. So that was not the problem, it seems us. But I ordered 2 spare ones, which are in the mail here somewhere because of the.
The postal services they are having strike, so it will probably take many weeks until they.
Yes. So I will probably get them when I get home. No, but what I have had half the trip and still have, because of the strike on the post office, is one shock absorbers in the back, which is dead. So I'm driving a little bit in French. They will say like kick. I don't know. With the left kick.
Yeah.
I have to put the thermos with the hot tea on the starboard side. So. Oh, that's a really good thing to have when you go in this kind of trips, is to have a thermos.
Yeah.
I have a thermos which is 750 milliliters. I fill it up with hot water and tea in the morning, and you can open it in the middle of the day when it's freezing cold, and you just pour it and you see how the steam just comes out of this cup, and it's fantastic. Yeah. You must have a thermos when you go out.
But where do you have any water?
No, I couldn't. I had water, but it froze.
Yeah.
I had bottle of water, 3 bottles of water in a sleeping mat around them, and they froze. Even though they were moving, shaking, because moving water doesn't freeze, but it did. It did freeze. So, but then I had the stove, so I could melt snow or melt ice, heaps of it. If I needed to have water I could have been a week, without.
Yeah, of course.
In the middle of nowhere, as long as there was snow that I could melt. So, there again, the safety equipment I had was good.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to make an emphasis that I never expected this trip to become as special as it has become.
Okay.
It was never my intention to make this a special trip,
Yeah.
I just wanted to have an enjoyable trip in September, or in the autumn. And this about the freezing temperatures, -26, and all this giving up and so, it just came without me really going for it. It was not my intention to make this trip as it became.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And then maybe you can ask the same question as non-velonauts ask: why do you do it? Have you had that question? Yeah.
Actually, I did have it here. Why did you do this in the winter? But
okay, that
you already answered.
Yeah. But I can give you because if we ride velomobiles, we know why we do it. But for other people in this case, I can say that the reason why I wanted to make this trip is because, and many other trips too, is I used to be a lot in mountains before, climbing and walking in mountains. But now I have arthrosis in my knees, in both knees, and I cannot go walking with big packs, So I can go with bicycle.
Yeah. But
I prefer to go with Velomobile.
Yeah, it's much more fun.
Yeah. Before I used to go in the winter skiing with a big backpack and standing up, being on the top of Kebnekaise, Swedish highest mountain, looking at the northern light, in the middle of New Year's Eve. I cannot do that now. So then I wanted to do something similar, but by myself, by my body using. And then I went with the Velomobile, even though the Velomobile is not built for this.
Yeah.
The Velomobile is built for the heat, warmer temperature.
Yeah.
But why not?
Yeah, and it seems that it is possible.
Yeah, it is possible. It is possible. You get a little bit of condensation that freezes inside of the Velomobile.
Yeah, I've seen the photo.
In one place I had up to 5 millimeters of ice, and I could get rid of some. They lent me a heater which I could put inside, and then I had a cover. But it only took away the ice from the top. Yeah. So half of the Velomobile, the top, was free of ice, but everything down below still had the ice, and even thicker, because it seems as if it melted down. And I had to be riding. I think it must, I don't know how much, but it probably was about 2 kilos or something like that. I had to ride with that until for a few days ago. And now 2 days ago, or yesterday, I had it in a garage. Yeah. And this is the first time I have it dry for over a month.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the interview.
You're very welcome.
Okay, I don't know if you can even see me because it's so damn dark here. Okay, so I met with Alve and I showed him the way to his accommodation for this night. It's actually very close to my workplace, so now I have to ride my commute back home again. But anyway, it was very nice to meet with Alve and have a conversation about his epic trip to the Nordkapp. But anyway, now I just ride back home in time to put the baby to sleep. So I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I guess this was pretty long video. The other camera ran out of battery. Okay, so I was saying that thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. And click that bell icon so you can get notification every time I post a new video. And visit my web shop and buy something like t-shirt or bag or a mug or something. So you can support my channel that way. But okay, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye. I hope it's not so dark next time so you can actually see me.